Hello everybody, this is Diane. I am working on my Christmas Sweets journals. I have to confess, this is a struggle. I am not whizzing away at these. I am struggling a bit, both with creative inspiration and with technical things. So I did a video making the covers, and it was fine doing that. I had no trouble with inspiration for making the covers. I still have things to add to decorate them. So let me just show you the covers. We have the gingerbread, because I don't remember how much was done when you saw them. I know I wasn't done with the inside because I had said that I would have to finish off the edge there, so I added that pink polka dot. And then to cover the seam, I put this vintage red and white striped bias tape. I made some pockets. This is fabric sewn to cardstock. This is a piece of fabric. And by the way, all of these fabrics were sent to me by my friend Angela. I thank you very much, Angela. These fabrics are so fun. And the backing fabrics too, like coordinating fabrics with the novelty ones. They were all sent by Angela. And she sent me this one too. And I love it. It's got Christmas colors. It's not necessarily a Christmas pattern, but I love it with this. And I think she may have sent me this piece of fabric that had all these fun tags printed on, so I cut that one out, added some rickrack, some pom-poms. And this is from a digital kit of gingerbread, and I'll talk a little bit more about that in a minute. But I just cut this large gingerbread house out and put it on cardstock and made it a pocket. And I made this tag with some of my stamps. I started this video already today, and then my battery was flashing, so I put the wrong battery in. I took one out, and I had the new one sitting there, and I got distracted, and then I couldn't remember which one was the old and which one was the new. So anyway, that's one of the technical things I struggle with. So the other one was the peppermint. I love this fabric, and I especially love it with that. I put some pieces on the back. And again, I did a fabric cover with just some patched scraps on there and a gingerbread house cut out for the back pocket. And I have this one, and I love this one. And I love that the candy canes have a hot pink stripe instead of a red, and she sent me this pink fabric that matches it beautifully. And that's what it looks like inside. And these are made with the Amazon envelopes. That they're not the vinyl ones, they are craft paper, and they have padding, but the padding is like foam dots. I showed it to you because one of the envelopes tore open. I showed it to you in the video where I made the covers. So what I want to do today is work on some pages. I did most of the pages for the peppermint journal already, and I have a good start on this one is the gingerbread. Now, one of the things I was struggling with, as I mentioned, I was struggling, and that is I really enjoyed putting those covers together, but then I was struggling with trying to make the insides go with the covers in a cohesive way and not just, I don't know, I wasn't liking them because I was just using things that I already had on hand, and I guess I just didn't have what I wanted to create the vision that I had for these candy themed journals and cookie themed journals. So I did go to Etsy and purchase some digital kits, and I will link those kits below. I'm not going to go into a lot of talking about the kits. I'll probably talk about them a little bit more when I do the final flip through. This one happens to be one that I did have in my possession already. It was when I was on the Studio 28E design team, and this is her Red Christmas kit, and I just printed this page out of it because of the gingerbread house. Perfect. And I think this is also from Studio 28E, the lined paper. And then I added a fabric flip. I did a video yesterday where I did some of this work, and I don't like the video, so it's probably not going to be on my channel. So another of the technical struggles. I made this candy out of my Cricut cartridge called Gingerbread, and it's a very simple cartridge. It has a base layer and it has a top layer, and that's it. So it's supposed to be gingerbread and icing, but I just made the candy ones, red and white. And just my never-ending Christmas list. Put some lace on there. And I stamped yesterday on the video that I'm not going to do, that I'm not going to put on my channel. I have some candy stamps that are really great. That I've had them for years. They're from the 90s, all of them. But they get a lot of use. This is one of the digital kits that I just purchased because it features gingerbread cookies and gingerbread houses. And then I stamped some gingerbread boys there. And I have a digital fussy cut set that had some words. So I cut out the word cookies and I just stitched it to a piece of ribbon. Include it there. When I started making this video, I did this. I glued that on there, and then I glued this pom-pom trim to this gingerbread tag because it kind of mimics his gingerbread buttons. This is from my Porch Prints, but I don't know the name of the kit. But I will link it. I stamped a candy cane there. Here's something that we can do on this page. Just to add a little bit of decoration. I don't want to hide the word jingle bells. But I have this scrap of pink gingham, and there's a lot of pink on these pages. And this from a vintage gift wrap, and it's embossed around the candy cane. I thought I would just add that there, just as an embellishment. I'm not doing vintage photo inking or anything like that. If I do any inking, I will use pink or red or something. But only if I feel like it needs it. I brought my lace selection over here in case I wanted it for any of the decorating I'll be doing over here today. That looks pretty. Just a thin little lace. I'll show it to you close up when I get it glued on. I just filled my Sugar Bell bottle with the Fabri-Tac, so a lot comes out. And then on this side, I did, this is part of one of the kits that I got, this banner, and then I just made these other banners to go with it to create a little tuck spot here. So on this side of the page, I'm going to make a little pocket with this little gingerbread horse, rocking horse, and some scraps. I have this piece of cardstock that I want to use, and I want to punch with this EK Success tool. It's got these circles, which I think is really fun for these fun Christmas sweets journals. It's kind of hard to see. the circles through the holes with the light glaring down. Looks like I missed a little bit there. And in order for that to show up better, I'm going to glue this piece of white behind it. I didn't show you the close-up of that lace, did I? Here you go. Told you I would. So I'm just going to put some glue around the holes. And then just to make sure I have the edge done, I'm just going to put some on the bottom edge. And I have a scrap of scrapbook paper here and a gingerbread pony to make a pocket. Trying to decide if I want anything else on it. I think I like it better without. Clean and simple. Does he make you hungry? I like a soft gingerbread cake, especially with Cool Whip on it. But I'm not a huge fan of gingerbread cookies, but I don't dislike them, but I don't go for them. You know, if there's a plate of cookies, I'll take something else. But I don't mind it. That looks cute. And then this will be the tag that goes in the pocket. But I love the looks of it. I bought some gingerbread decorations for my kitchen. I haven't put them up because I just got them this year. And my daughter and I went shopping at Hobby Lobby. I put some of that tinsel-y fabric that Angela also sent me. Just cut a strip of it and put it around the edge of a page. This is one of the envelopes that comes with one of the kits. So I'm just going to glue the envelope together. If it had a pocket or a tag that went in it, I must have used it for something else. I'll have to look at my kit when I can get on my computer again. I don't know if I told you that because I mentioned it the first time I started this video. I can't open my computer right now. It won't turn on. It happens sometimes with this not very old computer, which I paid a lot of money for. And I can't take the battery out the other things you're supposed to do, whatever, the Alt Control Shift thing, doesn't work. And the only thing I can do is let the battery die. You know, in my other computer I could take the battery out and then put it back in if I had a problem like this. But for this one, I would have to use a screwdriver and take the whole back off the computer, and I'm not going to do that. So when this happens, I just let it sit open with the unplugged. So I have to wait for the battery to die, which pretty much takes all day. And then I can get into my computer. So then I'll be able to see what comes with this. Let's see if I use that tag somewhere else. So I'm going to pin it or clip it there. I might use a different kind of clip. I'm just putting it there like that for now. This goes this way. Nope. Put the tab on backwards. So the candy's going to be at the bottom. That's what happened with this one too. I wanted the candy at the top, but they ended up at the bottom. There's a lot of pages in these books. This is old wrapping paper. This is a gingerbread house that I made with my Cricut. So I'm just going to glue it here, make a little tuck spot out of it. Do I want to glue the roof on? Yeah, I think I will. And I will find something to tuck inside of there. And here, I'm just going to do a page edge decoration. I have this piece that I cut out from one of the digital kits. It's a cup of cocoa and it says, "Baby, it's cold outside." And it has marshmallows and cinnamon and gingerbread cookies and candy all around it. So I took a couple of scraps, cut off scraps of pink patterned paper to put on it. Don't remember where I had that. And this is the page that I cut out, the large gingerbread house, but it has these snowflakes scattered around it, so I'll punch a few snowflakes out. Oh, worked great before. Guess, oh, there's one more that is intact. I did the first two fine, with no problem, because I wasn't on camera. I'll probably only use 3 of them anyway, because I want an odd number. Let's trim off the little portion that got stuck. Maybe it would look better with 5. I'm going to try cutting out this one. That's only a partial one. Well, at least the paper that got stuck in it was my backing paper, because I could put that like that and have an odd number. But I don't want it to just look like it's coming down in a diagonal line. Okay, that looks like it's drifting down. Even though there is an even number there, I think that's what works the best. Okay, now I'll have to try to remember that. We are having a beautiful fall day today. It's warm this week. Tomorrow is supposed to be about 80. But then Saturday, tomorrow's Friday, Saturday it will rain and be at least 10 degrees cooler. So then we'll start having more cooler weather again, which is fine by me. I am ready. I don't want to take up too much of the journaling space, but I did want to decorate some of these white pages. I stamped on some and I stenciled on some, but there were a lot of white pages in this book. So that looks cute. I like it. This is an envelope that I had last year from Dreams, Etc. She has a set of Christmas envelopes, and I can't remember how many there are, but I think there's like 5. I'm going to leave it open until I sew the book together, and I'll sew right through there, and then I'll glue it shut. But I think I'm going to tuck this inside it. I might change my mind, but this is one of the digitals that I just got, and I could cut this apart into 2 tags, but I think I'm leaving this one together, and it'll be a little booklet. and I wanted to put a little pockets on the inside. So I cut this paper and then another scrap, and I used this Martha Stewart punch to punch the edge of the scrap piece, and I wanted it to kind of look like icing. And there's red stripes on the other side, but I think that, and that looks okay with the pink icing on it, but I think it shows up, obviously it shows up better on the green, and I think I like it better. So we're going to use that. And then these will be tiny little pockets. And I'll have to find tiny little somethings to go in those pockets. I'll worry about pocket fillers later. That's too big. Okay, so I'm just gonna tuck that in the envelope for now. I don't know if I'll do anything else to it. Obviously I'll put some tags in there. And I don't know if I'll tie anything around it because I don't want to bulk the envelope up. Let's see if we have anything else to do in here. I really like the way that looks. I made a pocket out of fabric with a scrap of the gingerbread fabric and put this down at the bottom, which is really fun. I put this on as a little tuck spot. It's a larger, I think that it was the same that I printed for the little one, but well actually the other one has a lot of stuff around it, so that's not the same. But I put it on as a tuck spot and cut this gingerbread boy out and tucked him in there so you can have cookies with your cocoa. And I made this pocket with a scrap of, cut off of the scrapbook paper, which I reinforced with cardstock and added, I love this ribbon, I've had it for years, but it's got the pinks for the icing and just the pinks that are in the kit, some of the kits that I have, and then the brown for the gingerbread. Perfect. And there's another gingerbread house, so this all works together to be a tuck spot. I just put a vintage Christmas card in there. And I have this little pocket that I made out of a 6x6 scrapbook paper. And I'm just going to add this to the bottom. It's just a cutout from another 6x6 piece of paper. So there's a little pocket here, so I'll need, again, something small. And then I will glue it on so that you can tuck something behind it. Or do I want to do that or just make it, I think because it's so small I'm going to make it a tuck spot. don't know what I'll tuck in there yet. That's cute. I like that. Now I'm going to take a look at what else I have that could go in this and see what I can do with them. I have some doilies. I have a few tags. Christmas 1905. That's a gingerbread cookie, but it's all done in pink. I'll just look and see where I might need something. I do have a little gingerbread house on a postage stamp that needs to go in here somewhere. I have these that I definitely wanted to use. Where'd the little oh, here it is. Isn't that cute? But this is an old piece of wrapping paper with gingerbread cookies on the wreath. And this is just a journaling card with a cookie, a jelly-filled cookie, and a tab. So, I've got to do something with these items. Now, this could be a tuck spot if I put it on cardstock, or a journal card, again, if I put it on cardstock. I have this little piece that came from the same gift wrap, so this could be just a embellishment on something. I think this tag needs something, and that's perfect for it. Glues. Can't live with them, can't live without them. Too much pink there. I don't know. I'll leave it there for now. I have a little box full of vintage little jingle bells that I've had for several years, and I've used them in Christmas journals in the past, and now I don't know where they are because I wanted to hang some on these tabs. Hopefully I find them. Could make a little tuck spot there. Or just a pocket. I was thinking this can be written on, but this could be written on also, but maybe not as easily. But I like this better over here. So I'm going to back this with some cardstock. and glue it to this, and then this will be a pocket. Trying to put the pin in my bottle before I forget. Okay, don't want the glue to dry while I'm doing that. Okay, cut this out. Be patient with me. I can tell you about my saga yesterday. My son was having a large TV delivered to his house, and he had to work, so he asked me if I could go stay at his house during the time window that they gave him, which was 6 hours, 7 a.m. to 1 p.m. But the night before, he got a message and the window was 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. Still 4 hours, which I think is ridiculous. But I went, and he's having his roof done too, so there were roofers out there, and I just told him it was my son's house and I was just there waiting for a delivery. And I went inside. I had my Bible with me, and I wanted to work on my Sunday school lesson that I teach. And I had a book to read, and, but I just really was having a hard time concentrating on anything. And then I was getting impatient because it was taking, sure, they gave me a 4-hour window, but I really didn't want to be there for the whole 4 hours. And my son messaged me and told me that he got a text that they would be there in 20 minutes. So I was like, oh, okay. So that was a 2-hour wait. By the time they got there, it would have been 2 hours, a little over 2 hours that I had been there. Okay, I can deal with that. And they didn't come, and they didn't come, and they didn't come. And I was really getting irritated. And I asked him if he could see what the deal was, because it was over an hour past their point that they said they'd be there. So at this point, I'm there for over an hour, or over 3 hours. And then he called me and said, I think I want to cut this middle out if I can. Well, I have to now, don't I? He called me and said that one of the roofer guys texted him and told him that the TV had been delivered and was sitting on the porch. And it had been there for an hour. They came when they said they were, and I was just sitting inside waiting for them to knock and bring the TV inside, which was what they were supposed to do. And there are conflicting stories of whether the roofer told the delivery guy, just leave it on the porch and then let me sit in there knowing that I was there waiting for a delivery. Or the roofer told me that he told them that I was inside and they were like, oh no, we're good, and they just left it on the porch. But whatever happened, nobody told me. So I'm sitting in there getting more and more impatient, and all the while the TV is sitting on the front porch. It was a great big box, not a big porch, so it didn't fit, it just barely fit on the porch. And anybody could have seen that and taken it. So I was pretty irritated that I wasted 3.5 hours, because if they weren't going to bring it inside, why was I in there waiting? I don't want to put glue where I don't need it. So It wasn't my son's fault. I wasn't mad at him, but I told him he should call Best Buy and complain. Number one, that they didn't bring it inside like they were supposed to, and number two, that they left it in plain sight of everybody that went by on the street. But it's in the past now. I got over it. But that was 3.5 hours I could have worked on these journals. That is really cute. I like that. Now I'm going to look at the pockets and tucks, see how many are in the front half of the signature and how many are in the back to see what I need to do next. And then I'm going to have to go because we're reaching the limit for my camera. There's one pocket, two. Guess I'll count that. 3, 4. Okay, 4. Oh, 5, because that's a little tuck spot. 5 pockets in the front half. Then we have 1, 2. That can be a tuck, so 3, 4, 5. Great. It's a lot of pockets and tuck spots in a one signature journal. I think I want to put a little trim or something there. Maybe a piece of gathered seam binding or sari silk. Got a rather large piece of sari silk, like 10 yards of sari silk. So, not sure. Oh, I don't want to sew it on there because of that. So I guess I'll just glue it on. Ah. Okay, I am going to stop the video now and just figure out what else I need to do, and then maybe get started on the candy cane journal. So I think I'm heading in a better direction now than I was before, and I'm happy with what is happening with these journals. So I hope that you'll come on back to see how they finish up. I'll see you in the next video. Have a creative day today. Bye-bye.